Nancy Pelosi, the Speaker of the House, just loaded up on millions of dollars of stock and stock options. She's making an extremely bullish bet on the market. And in today's video, we're going to be talking about what stock she's buying, what options she's buying, and what this means for the overall direction of the stock market and how we can make some money from it. She's obviously got some inside information that's obvious. Here in Georgia, where I live, we just had some big drama with our state senators who had inside information on what was happening with the pandemic, and they bought a bunch of stock options in Zoom and Teladoc, and they made millions of dollars. Well, Nancy Pelosi obviously knows what's going on in Washington. She knows whether there's going to be a new stimulus bill, and she's buying a bunch of specific stock options. So in today's video, we're going to be doing a deep dive, analyzing what's going on and how to make some profit from it. Ooh, what's good, all my trader and investor homies? Welcome to Touchdown Trades, the #1 stock market trading and investing channel on all of YouTube. If you're new to the channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and turn on the notifications, as well as get your 4 free stocks valued up to $3,700 using the link in the description for Webull, my preferred broker. Pelosi isn't thought of probably as a big stock market investor, but her husband does run an investment firm. He does this for a living. So he's obviously got the inside scoop, and we're going to be opening up the books and looking at her financial disclosures and checking out what she's buying. Let's get it. All right, guys, before we break down what Pelosi is buying and why it matters, check out the 2-week free trial for the private Discord chat and alerts where you get my buy and sell orders in real time. We just caught a huge winner in this KOSS. We were the only ones talking about it. We caught 200% plus in POLA from the entry price that the Discord chat that I sent out in the Discord chat. There's a 2-week free trial link in the description. Risk-free, cancel anytime if you want. So I live here in Atlanta, in the metro Atlanta area in Georgia. We just had huge news with our Senate election because David Perdue, Kelly Loeffler, the incumbent senators, they had bought a bunch of Zoom call options, a bunch of Teladoc call options right when it became apparent how bad it was actually going to be and what companies were going to benefit. It was becoming obvious that Teladoc and work from home companies were going to benefit from what was going on. And a lot of people got upset about this. They said that congressmen, senators, they shouldn't be allowed to trade stocks. Well, I look at it differently. I think we're getting an inside vision at what's going on in the government, and we can take advantage of it and use it to profit. If we know who's buying what inside the government, we can look at it and kind of get some market analysis from it and base some decisions on economic trends from this. So I saw this article, a Discord member from the private Discord chat sent this link out, and I looked at it, and I do think it paints a picture of what might happen with the market in the coming months. So Nancy Pelosi, the Speaker of the House, she is married to a guy that runs a firm. He runs an investment firm, and her husband has to disclose what he's buying. And if you don't think this dude has inside information on what's going on in the House and the Senate and what bills are about to get passed, which could affect the stock market, then you are nuts. He absolutely knows what's going on. So Nancy Pelosi's husband has placed up to $1 million worth of bullish bets on Tesla stock, the politician revealed in a financial disclosure form last week. Paul Pelosi, who runs an investment firm, bought 25 call options on Tesla stock with a strike price of $500 and an expiration date of March 18th, 2022. He spent between $500,000 and $1 million on this trade. Let's take a look at the chart real quick and see what this entails. So the strike price is right here, $500, and it doesn't expire until 2022. This call option is going to have a lot of extrinsic value. Extrinsic value meaning outside of the price. So in order for him to make money on this call option, on this Tesla bet that he placed, Tesla's going to really have to make a nice move higher. There is talk of new bills being passed in the House, in Congress, that are going to really be beneficial for the overall EV and clean energy sectors. Green energy bills requiring subsidies to go to EV auto manufacturers, probably some solar subsidies to help these clean energy companies get a footing. And if that happens, Tesla stock could easily see $1,500 per share. The article goes on to say the purchases are legal but have raised eyebrows. Nancy Pelosi now has a financial interest in Tesla's success, even as she's poised to play a key role in passing green initiatives that stand to help the auto manufacturer. If these bills get passed, Tesla will benefit. The entire EV auto manufacturing industry will benefit. And I think solar is really going to be a huge under the radar benefactor of these bills. And we'll take a look at some of the stocks that I think can make huge moves from this type of bill that I expect to get passed. Pelosi's husband also spent up to $500,000 for 100 call options on Apple stock with the strike price of 100. So the strike price will be 100. Apple stock is now trading at 143, and these don't expire until 2022 either. I think in order for Apple to make the next leg up, it just broke out over those all-time highs. We're going to need to see the S&P, the SPY, really make a new move higher, and I think that's very likely, and we'll talk about why in just a second. He also bought a bunch of Disney calls, 100 call options on Disney stock with a strike price of 100 and an expiration date of March 2022. Right now it's trading at 170, and he bought the $100 strike, expires in 2022. So once again, we're going to need to see Disney hold these new levels that it just broke out of, just gapped up and has been consolidating. And then Disney would need to break out over all-time highs. And then he would have two options to capitalize on his profit. Number one, exercise the options and then own the shares, or just sell the options outright and take a profit. But even though these expire in 2022, he's probably not going to want to hold them that long, as there's going to be a lot of theta or time decay. The way stock options work, if you're not familiar, every day you hold a stock option, it loses money in time decay. Finally, Pelosi's husband paid between $500,000 and $1 million for 20,000 shares in AllianceBernstein, which is a financial investment firm. So in order for AllianceBernstein to make a big move higher, we're going to need to see the overall market make a big move higher. So what does these trades and investments that Pelosi and her husband are making tell us about what's happening in Washington and what could happen in the stock market due to what's going on in the government? What this is telling me is that the stimulus, the bill that Biden's talking about, the $1,400 stimulus check, is going to get passed. I don't think there's any doubt about it that we're going to see more stimulus, which I do think will give a short-term boost to the stock market. We'll talk about my opinion on the long-term effect of all this stimulus on the stock market in just a sec. So $1,400 stimulus checks and $15 per hour federal minimum wage. President Joe Biden's $1.9 trillion relief plan includes proposals for additional direct checks and a higher federal minimum wage. I doubt we see $15, but I do believe we could see an increase in the federal minimum wage. Those efforts to get more money directly to Americans could change amid negotiations on Capitol Hill. Americans hoping for more take-home cash will now have to wait and see how the negotiations play out. So how do these negotiations affect the stock market? How does the stimulus affect the stock market? We're currently trading at all-time highs already on the S&P 500. And I think if these bills, these stimulus bills get passed, which I believe they will, we see a push up in the overall market, absolutely. But long term, I think it will negatively impact the stock market. And I do believe in a 2021 pullback or correction, because somebody's got to pay for this money. Sure, I'll take the $1,400 if you want to give it to me, but I do expect tax hikes during the next few years. And I think those tax hikes on the upper middle class and corporations specifically will cause a contraction in the overall stock market, aka a pullback, because as big corporations pay more taxes, that's going to affect their bottom line. And as earnings reports, earnings releases start to come out showing that, it's going to affect the stock market. If your average company like Apple is paying more taxes, that's going to mean less profit. That's going to mean less earnings reports getting beat and stocks pulling back overall. But in the short term, I think we have some really good opportunities. Pelosi's stock purchases are showing us what is about to happen in Washington. And I think that's going to be a bunch of green energy bills passed, which is going to be really good for the EV stock sector as a whole, solar as a whole, and just the clean energy sector as a whole. How do we capitalize on this? How do we make some money from this? I think EV, there's some good EV plays out there. Tesla, of course, is the big blue chip stock there, but I think there are better deals out there in that space. How about Hyliion? I really like Hyliion long term. I'm an investor, a shareholder in Hyliion right now in my long-term investment account. And solar. We've seen solar take off. We just traded Pola in the private Discord chat. We bought it way back here and sold up here for a really nice profit. Sold over there at like 16. Missed out on some moves, but still a really nice trade. I think there's some under the radar solar stocks that we can look at. SunW, look at the move SunW's made. I'd be interested in that on a pullback, not necessarily up there at those levels. First Solar is one. Enphase is one. ENPH. Enphase is one that I really, really like on any pullbacks, especially Enphase, a pullback down to like 140. I would love to buy Enphase at 140. But Tesla is, I do think Tesla sees maybe $1,500 a share this year. Pelosi's husband buying call options indicates that we see more highs, at least $1,000 on Tesla in my opinion. So I'm going to be looking to invest in clean energy over the next few months. Definitely get some exposure to solar in my opinion. I'll be getting some exposure to some under the radar EV stocks. All right guys, that's going to wrap up the video. Hope you guys got something from it. If you did, do me a favor and hit that like button for me. It tells YouTube that these videos do provide value. And if you're new to the channel, consider subscribing and checking out those links in the description. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Until next time, peace.